Hi everyone, my name is Priyanka Mane. Today's topic is human heart cardiac cycle. Human heart is a muscular organ and responsible to the pumping of blood throughout the body. That oxygens and nutrient are also delivered to the tissues and waste product. Waste product are removed. The heart is operate to continuous cycles for contraction and relaxation. That is known as the cardiac cycle. A cardiac cycle is essential process maintaining the circulation and cardiovascular health. Anatomy of heart. Before the cardiac cycles is important to understand the structure of heart. Heart is consist of the four chamber. First chamber is right atrium. There receives the deoxygenated blood from body through superior and inferior vena cava. Right ventricle pumps deoxygenated blood lungs via the pulmonary artery for oxygenation. Left atrium receives oxygenated blood from the lungs and pulmonary veins. Left ventricles pumps oxygenated blood body through aorta. Heart divided into the two walls. Septum, the right side responsible to pulmonary circulation and left side is the systemic circulation that transport the blood to body. And heart walls are tricuspid wall between the right atrium and right ventricle, pulmonary wall, right ventricle to lungs, and also the mitral wall, left atrium to left ventricle. Aortic wall to ensure blood flow and prevent to backflow. Cardiac cycle overview. Cardiac cycles are the sequence of events occurs in one complete heartbeat, including contractions like a systole and relaxation like a diastole. Generally divided in two phases. One is diastole, second is systole. First one is diastole. Relaxation phase. It is the heart muscles relax and chamber fill with the blood. And systole, it is a contraction phase. Heart muscle contract and pumping blood out of the heart. Each cycle approximately 0.8 second for resting heart and cycle electrical impulse and originate from the hearts like a pacemaker. The pacemaker is also known as a sinoatrial node. Phases of the cardiac cycle. Cardiac cycle is made up of 5 distinct phases which can be broken two main parts. One is diastole and second is systole. First, diastole. Okay, this phase is occurs during relaxation periods of heart and both the atria and also the ventricles relaxed state. Blood flows into atria from veins, deoxygenated blood and oxygenated blood to left atrium from lungs. Atrial systole. Atria are contract towards the end of phase and contractions is the electrical impulses from the SA node and which causes push blood into the ventricles. At that point mitral and tricuspid wall are open and blood flow atria into ventricles. At that end ventricular filling phases and ventricles 80% full and final 20 is added the atrial contractions. Isovolumetric contraction. Once the ventricles then filled blood and ventricles are contract and wall is closed at that point. Phase is characterized is increases pressures with the ventricles Also the heart muscles are begins to the contract. Volume of blood in the ventricles is constant. Okay, then AV wall is closed. Increases ventricular pressures that causes the atrioventricles wall, means mitrals and tricuspid walls is closed, which prevents the blood flowing back into the atria. Also semilunar wall is closed. Aortic and pulmonary wall is closed during the phases, causes the pressures in the ventricles is not high and push blood into the atria. Okay, ensure that no blood is lost ventricles and before the wall open. Ventricular injections, okay, that phases are forcefully enough and also open semilunar wall, means aortic and pulmonary wall. Okay, left ventricles is oxygenated blood into aorta, and systemic circulations are the right ventricles are pumped to deoxygenated and towards the lungs for oxygenation. Injection fractions. Injection is approximately now 60 to 70% blood from ventricles and wall known as injections fractions. Healthy indicates proper the functions, and ventricles are continue to contract and expel the blood to the pressure, and below the pressure atrias. Okay, involuntary relaxations means the end of the systole. After that blood has been injected from the ventricles are begins to relax and volumetric contraction phase, and ventricles are relaxed while four walls are closed. All four walls are closed. Then semilunar wall is closed. Pressure in the atrias are the pressure in the ventricles causing to the semilunar walls, and they closed. Okay, they are closed and prevent the blood from flowing back into the ventricles. AV walls are closed. Okay, AV walls are closed during this phase is pressure in the aorta still lower than the ventricles, and they are preventing blood from moving back into the atria. This phase are the transition between the systole to diastole, and ventricular filling means diastole. Finally, ventricles are fill again as a hearts to enter another diastolic phase. AV walls means mitral and tricuspid open, become lower than the atria, and blood flows into ventricles and completing the cycle. Electrical conductions and also the regulations. Heart ability to coordinate cardiac cycle is electrical conduction system, and key structure are involved. Sinoatrial node is located right atria, and this is the pacemaker and generated the electrical impulses, and they are trigger the atrial contractions. Ventricular nodes, okay, receive the electrical signals from sinoatrial node, and slightly to ensure that the atria finishing the contraction before ventricles and their contractions. Bundle of His and Purkinje fibers. Electrical impulse travels through bundle of His and down the intraventricular septum, Purkinje fibers, which spread the impulse throughout the ventricles and leading to ventricular contractions. And the electrical impulses that result is coordinated the contraction and also the relaxation. Okay, and regulated atomic nervous system and hormones like okay, heart rate during this time is stress or physical activity and clinical relevance, understanding the cardiac cycles. Okay, that's all about the cardiac cycles and heart of the body. Thank you.